All right, you got a lot of weeks to think about here, Ken. There's 52 weeks in a year. That's a lot of dudes and a lot of dorks. So let's talk about your dude of the year for 2024.
There's one that stands out above all. It's not exactly a shocking choice. It's that guy who leads off for the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani. Third MVP in 4 years. And he didn't pitch this year. He is the first primary DH ever to win an MVP. And it's worth recalling that he did this in a year that started with this unbelievable story with his former interpreter, Ipe Mizuhara, basically stealing money from him, and the drama that ensued there, again, before the season even started. He shut it all out. He played as he always plays. He is the first 50-50 player. I don't know how many other people you can consider here. There's a lot of other people in baseball who had amazing years, and I'm sure you're going to come up with one, Alana. But Shohei Ohtani, dude of the year and probably the dude of the decade.
Yeah, I would say probably the dude of baseball in its, infinity. I want to say, though, again, you can never go wrong by picking Shohei Ohtani in anything positive as far as a category is concerned. I'm going to look at it, Ken, more as you're only as good as the sum of your parts. And for me, the job that Dave Roberts did as the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, when they had so many unbelievable injuries to massively key pieces, the way that he managed a different style of management for Dave, really pushing all of the right buttons over the course of the year, because we pretty much thought the Dodgers were going to win the division over the course of the year. But more importantly, what he was able to do in the postseason, really making all of the right moves to be able to get this Dodgers team past the Padres, who I said nationally, I thought the Padres were going to win in 5, to get them past the Padres, to get to the World Series and then win it in 4 games, essentially 5 games, but 4-1 as far as the series was concerned against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. I think, to me, is the absolute 2024 dude of the year. I think we all thought that Dave, having not gotten out of the Padres series in the NLDS, and you can ask Dave himself, probably thought his job was on the line. But the way that he was able to get past that round of against a very good Padres team and do all the right chess moves, to me, Dave Roberts deserves Manager of the Year. I know he was for Baseball America. Didn't get it, obviously, for the BBWAA. That's okay, because there's other, people there that were certainly deserving of being considered too. But what he did, to me, no asterisk when it comes to this one for sure.
Oh, Anna, that's a great choice. And you're right. They were down 2-1 to the Padres in a best-of-5 series. They had a bullpen game in Game 4. He managed through that. And then, of course, Game 5, they won that as well. It was a remarkable job, start to finish. And yes, he was not Manager of the Year, but that's because it's based on regular season performance. And the Dodgers manager, because of the money they spend, the talent they run out there, is hardly ever going to be a strong candidate for Manager of the Year, because the award generally goes to guys like Pat Murphy, who take a team with minimal expectations and do big things with them. But Dave Roberts, yes, his job was on the line. And yes, he acknowledged his job was on the line after they went and beat the Padres. But he kept his same countenance through it all, was that upbeat, positive, relentlessly positive guy. And he certainly is a worthy choice for Dude of the Year. And it was cool for the sport, for all the people in the sport who know Dave Roberts, respect him, and love him, to see him get his due.
Yeah, where I live here, right outside of Boston, he still will never pay for anything because of that famous steal in the 2004 World Series as a member of the Boston Red Sox. So he's a Hall of Fame man for sure, and maybe we'll see him in the Hall of Fame one day as a manager. All right, from our Dude of the Year to our John Fisher Dork of the Year.
Now, Alana, there's a reason the award is named the way it is. The John Fisher Dork of the Week, John Fisher Dork of the Year. It's because this guy won it so many times. And when you win an award of this nature so many times, it probably means you should win the annual award as well. And John Fisher, you are more than deserving. The A's departure from Oakland, the awful set of circumstances that led to this whole thing, the way they have run the team under his ownership, and the move to Las Vegas, which all of us will believe when we see it. And now even look at what they're doing with their payroll. They were claiming they were going to be about 130 million starting in Sacramento, ramping up, and they're not going to be at 130 million. John Fisher is a guy that I don't know why the other owners tolerate, to be perfectly honest, but they do. And as long as he's going to be in the sport, conducting his team the way he is going to be the namesake of this award, and he's going to be winning it quite often. John Fisher, Dork of the Year.
Yeah, I don't see that namesake being taken away anytime soon, just continuing with the bad move after bad move after bad move. The optics of this man are unbelievable. All right, mine, obviously, I don't have the brainwidth or bandwidth or the capacity to go back over the course of the entire 2024 season and think about all of the guys that left you scratching your head. So I'm going to be a little bit more of a recency bias here, Ken, and I'm going to talk about signings at all hours of the day or the night. And this for you is for you, my friend. I want Ken Rosenthal to be able to get some sleep, people. I wake up and I find out that Sean Manaea signed at 2 a.m. Kenny, I'm sorry. I wish there was a time, a moratorium on signings just over the course of, right before Christmas, right before Hanukkah. Can we have a little bit of respect for my peeps, my writers, my hardworking people that are insiders and people breaking news? They're people too. They need to sleep. So these late night signings are my dork of the week. Year, really.
Alana, I appreciate you, first of all, saying we're people too, since a number of our readers and followers don't necessarily acknowledge that and call us a lot of other names. But you're absolutely right that the way the sports clock operates is just bizarre. And certainly signings happen in the middle of the night. It's kind of part of the magic of the offseason, I guess. Now, the Manaea one did seem to break, and Jeff Passan and John Hamer were on this at about 2 a.m. Now it's 3 a.m. my time, 2 a.m., whatever the time was. It was the middle of the night either way. And there was a time in this sport, not that long ago, 20 years, where there was a kind of a blackout period. And it was around the Christmas holidays. Nothing happened. But if you did that now, nobody would obey it. They couldn't enforce it. It would be a problem. And frankly, I'm glad you mentioned us, Alana, but we're only part of this ecosystem. The general managers, the agents, all of these people never stop working. I wouldn't suggest it's the healthiest environment, and yet baseball seems unwilling to do anything about it, powerless to do anything about it, and I don't think fans care one whit. I think fans love it, and maybe that's why MLB loves it too.
Yeah, well, just be thankful that your beautiful wife hasn't DFA'd you yet, okay? For all of the writers out there, all of the people, all the general managers, president of baseball ops, I tell you, you guys have to have the most understanding and patient wives in all of the land. All right.